We already have the list of all of the categories of the posts that have been added into the database. It's time for us to get the amount of posts per category. For that, we're going to continue to use link. And we're going to be using it both in a very similar way to what we did before in a pure link form, and we're going to be doing it as well with methods that it's probably going to make things easier for you, so you don't have to memorize or know how the query is supposed to be conformed. And we're also going to be using dictionaries. Dictionaries are very similar to lists, only that in the case of dictionaries, we not only have a list of elements, but we have a list that has a key and a value, meaning that a value will always be joined by its key. And in this case, we want a dictionary because we want the key to be the name of the category and the value to be the amount of posts that this category has in the post table. So that's the first thing that we're going to need, a dictionary. I'm going to define a dictionary like that, like a dictionary. And it's going to be called categories count. And to define a dictionary, we're going to require the types of the values that are going to be the key and the value itself. For the key, we're going to be using a string because that's the category. Each category is going to be a string, and the category is going to act as the key of this dictionary. And then the value is going to be an integer. The integer that will hold the amount of categories in the post table. And this is going to be equal to a new dictionary of string and int. Now that we have this dictionary, we can start adding elements to it. But to get the amount of posts in each category, we're going to have to do, again, something very similar to what we did before with link, but also iterate through each and every one of the categories. Meaning that we have to perform an evaluation similar to this one for each of the category. So I am going to use a for each loop. And the body of the for each loop is going to execute once for every element inside of the categories list. And I also have to get the category itself, each and every one that is inside of the list. And for each of these categories, I am going to get the count, which is going to be the post table, but filtered where the category name is equal to that category. So we're going to be doing from post in post table where the category name is equal to the category that we are evaluating in this loop. And we're going to select the post itself. So we're going to get the entire object in this case, not like in the previous case where we just got a property, because in this case it doesn't matter what we get, it matters how many we get. And so whatever this query returns, I am going to cast it or convert it into a list. And finally, for that list, I am going to get the count. The count finally is going to be assigned to the count variable. And so for this category, we would already have both the name of the category itself and the count. So we can access the categories count dictionary and add a new element through the add method. And it will first ask for the key being the category in this case, and then it will ask for the value being the count. And that's it. With this, we are already iterating through each and every one of the elements inside of the categories list. We are getting the value for the corresponding item for each loop. And then for that item, we are getting all of the posts in the post table list that have as category name that same category. And we're getting the count of elements that match that description. And then we're adding that count along with the category to a dictionary. Now, having the dictionary, we can actually assign it as the item source for the list view, the categories list view that we have already defined. So let's do that in the next lecture.